Hi, everyone. Welcome to the VO Boss Podcast and the Real Bosses series. I'm your host, Ann Ganguza, and I am here. I am the BOSS with the VOS. That's the voiceover strategist, Mr. Tom Dheere. Hello, Tom.
Hello. So that's Boss Voss.
Boss Voss, the
Boss
BOSS. BOSS with the VOS.
BOSS
and you know,
with the VOS.
Tom, let's continue the acronym party, shall we?
Yes, please.
Because I'll tell you what, it's the beginning of the year. I want to be acquiring, I'm going to manifest multiple new contacts. And you know what? I need to be able to keep track of those contacts in a BOSS, a boss CRM.
Whoa. Boss Voss CRM.
What do you think? Boss CRM. So,
I like
yeah,
that.
And you know, people ask me about what CRM do I use? What CRM do I use? And so I think it'd be a good time let's talk about 2025 CRM.
That is a fantastic idea, Anne. First off, just to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about, CRM is Customer Relationship Manager. It is a fancy way of saying some form of system where you store your client information, potential clients, current clients, past clients information, which you can use as a home base for your marketing strategies. That's because so you use the CRM to develop relationships with customers. So just make sure everybody's on the same page. What?
Then you could be CRM BOSS.
You could be a CRM boss. You could be a Crim boss? No, that's not. We'll stick with CRM.
But CRM reminds me of crumble cookies. Oh wait, now I'm going off. I diverge into a tangent of cookies.
I was thinking Crom, like the god that Conan the Barbarian worships. But all right, we're really getting off the rails
I can see where my brain is versus yours. Okay.
You must be hungrier than I am.
So I love cookies.
Me too.
So speaking of CRM, so Tom, let's talk about why, first of all, is it good to have a CRM? Why do we need one?
It is critical for voice actors.
Business.
Yes, it is critical for voice actors to have a CRM because you want. I tell my students that my definition of marketing is the art and science of developing meaningful relationships. That's what it is. You want meaningful relationships with clients. Now, we all know why we want meaningful relationships with clients, and they know too, is because we want them to give us money to talk. Like,
yes,
we understand that, they understand that. And at the same time, you know, it's complicated. And there's a lot of moving parts to all of this stuff. Having a CRM why you want to have it is because you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every time you want to get voiceover work. Also, it's a relationship manager. Since you are trying to develop relationships have beginnings. They start in a certain way. Hi, my name is so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Handshake, firm handshake and all that stuff. And then it's the getting to know you stuff, develop an understanding of each other, what you can offer each other, what you both need from each other, and developing trust. Trust is one of the most important components of any relationship, be it personal or professional. So why have a CRM? You do it to develop trust and nurture relationships with clients.
And so, Tom, can I just say, I love that. Can I just say, as a girl with about 1.5 million, and I kid you not, 1.5 million unread emails in my Gmail. If I don't have a place that I can go to see where are my customers, right? If I'm not doing something to organize that, I can basically emails just fly through my inbox. And so I might forget that I was in contact with my client maybe a month ago and I needed to follow up with them for a particular reason. Maybe they were saying, let me get back to you on this, and I need to follow up. And so if I just relied on my trusty email system, which by the way has 1.5 million unread email messages, and guys, this in my defense, right? I got a Gmail account in 1990 something. Okay, how many years is that? 30 some odd years.
A long
when
time.
It began. I was one of the first, I swear I was one of the first, few hundred people that had a Gmail account. And because Google is a search engine, I just never deleted anything. So I have records going back to by the way, from my clients, if I want to. I have records going back to 1992 or 96. I can't remember which year, but yeah.
That's
I know
amazing.
It's crazy.
That's
it's
amazing.
Crazy. But, fun stuff.
Another thing to keep in mind is that for a moment, take out the word relationship and replace it with the term sales funnel.
Yeah.
A good CRM helps get voice seekers into the sales funnel and pushes them through the sales funnel.
Yeah.
There's different permutations and levels for different people, but for me, my sales funnel terms are brand awareness, consideration, decision, advocacy. Brand awareness.
Yes.
You send the cold email. Hi, so-and-so explainer video company. My name's Tom Dheere. I'm an explainer video narrator. Now they know that you exist, which means if they open the email, clicked on the link to your website, listened to your demos, downloaded them, and replied, hey, thanks for sending this. We'll keep you in mind for future consideration. They are now keeping you, hopefully, top of mind the next time a voiceover gig comes along that you're right for. So that's part of using the CRM to keep moving them through the consideration part of the sales funnel to the decision where they actually have a voiceover that you'd be right for, and they remember you, and they have your demos, and they have your contact information, and they actually reply to you. Hey, we think we've got something for you. Could you please read this script and let us know how much you'd charge for this? You do that, and then you get the booking. And then it goes into the advocacy part of the sales funnel where you did such a great job that they will remember you the next time a project comes along because you did such a great job on the last project that you worked on. Your CRM... What?
I was going to say, I love how you just explained the sales funnel, because I was going to say, most voice actors are not necessarily aware of, you went through the technical aspects of a sales funnel, a traditional marketing sales funnel. But it's truly how do I buy? Here, I always have to go to my lipstick.
Okay, let's go to your lipstick.
It's not Ann Ganguza unless I go to my... Okay, so when I need to... Okay, first of all, I have to have a need. I have to have a need, right? Mm-hmm. And so I may or may not be aware of different brands of lipstick, right? So, but because I've used this lipstick before, I'm going to start with my Chanel, right? I have my Chanel lipstick. So, and they're top of mind because literally they sit right here on my desk, because when I do my podcast video, I've got to make sure I have my matching lipstick.
Oh,
so
your lipstick
brand
matches
awareness,
your headphones.
Right? Yeah, brand awareness. And so that's one thing. What's the next step in the funnel there, Tom?
Consideration.
Consideration. Now, what are the factors that are going to have me consider? Now, just equate this to your voiceover business, guys. What are but this is basically, this is the layman's terms of okay, so what is it? The considerations of why am I going to buy this brand, right?
Yeah. What are the advertising and marketing techniques that that company is going to use to remind you how awesome their lipstick is?
Right, exactly. And also, what is my experience with the lipstick, right? So I'm on their mailing list, right? Mm-hmm. And does Chanel go on sale? Well, no. But that's also brand awareness, too. So we know that certain things don't go on sale. Chanel doesn't usually go on sale. But anyways, so I know I keep up with them with their mailings, and that's how they keep top of mind with me. But pretty much I also use it all the time, and it sits there, so I visually see it. So it's either in my inbox or it's sitting here in my desk, right? Mm-hmm. What's the next step after consideration?
Decision.
Okay. Is this, do I have the money at this time? Do I have the need? Do I have the money to buy this, right? And I make that decision, right? I click on the email, right? Because they say, oh, new colors are out. And I'm like, oh, I could use a new color red, right? So I make that decision. I click, go to the website, and then what's after the decision? I'll buy it, right?
Advocacy. You buy it, and then
So
advocacy.
If I buy it and I love the color, oh my God. oh, guys, have you seen? All right, all my friends, I'm going to say, did you see this color? Isn't this color amazing, right? And I might even throw up like a social media, like, ooh, branding awareness. Ann Giggo's a voice talent, right? Branding awareness. I love this new color red because you got to feel confident in the booth so that you can voice confidently. And so there we go. I'm going to advocate for the brand. So not only am I advocating for my brand, but I'm advocating for this brand as well. So that kind of just took you through the sales funnel with like just a traditional lipstick. Sorry, Tom.
Right.
You could maybe use a flannel shirt as an example.
Oh, I'm a Maybelline man myself.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go.
So I want to take exactly what you said, and now let's look at it from the lipstick maker company's perspective. They've got people that they want to buy their lipstick, and they want them to love their lipstick and come back for more. So they have their own CRM. And through their through their television advertising, through their radio advertising, through their digital and streaming advertising, through their print advertising on the side of a bus or in a magazine of some sort, they are trying to get people to be aware of them, brand awareness, and keep them top of mind, which is why there's always kinds of print and digital and other forms of advertising. And if they get you on that mailing list, they can send out emails at regular intervals based on people who haven't bought their lipstick yet and people who possibly have bought their lipstick yet. They also look at, did they open this email? Did they use a promo code to try the lipstick or get a discount, even though they don't do discounts, which is very interesting because a lot of brands position themselves, we are so valuable and we are so coveted, we don't need to discount. We don't need to do that. And that speaks,
I did that
it's
for
very
many years.
Interesting. It's very interesting for Chanel.
It's an interesting psychology behind it. Because
there is a psychology.
Honestly, there are a lot of times where if something is so cheap, I'll be like, oh, I'm not so sure about the quality of that. I'd actually rather pay a little bit more money because I feel like I'm getting better quality. And that's the whole like know your worth, guys, right? What should you be charging? Charge what you're worth versus going cheap.
Right. More expensive equals superior from a branding and psychological point of view. So Chanel, right? Or no, what was it? Chanel. Okay, Chanel sees all of us potential customers, brand awareness consideration, actual customers, decision and advocacy, and they use CRMs to get lipstick buyers into the sales funnel and push them through. So translating that to voice actors, we want to do the same exact thing, and a good, robust interactive CRM can help us get voice seekers into the sales funnel and push them through.
Absolutely. And you'll be able to know at what point in the funnel they are at.
Exactly.
A good CRM will tell you exactly where they are in the sales funnel, so you'll know what to do for the next steps. Like maybe they need an additional email. Maybe they need a phone call. Maybe they need, maybe you'll put out some more social media advertisements, that sort of a thing. So really depending on where they are in the CRM is when you make that determination and decision on what to do. So now, Tom, the question is, we know why we need a CRM, right? And we understand the sales funnel. And all voice actors need to understand that sales funnel because we are selling our products. We're selling our voices. Let's talk about actual CRMs. I mean, there's many of them out there. I know people constantly ask me which ones I use. And I think the answer may surprise you unless you've listened to a podcast of mine before, but I don't use any one. I use a multitude of CRMs in combination with one another because myself personally, I don't find one that does everything for me that I need. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, different CRMs fulfill different needs. Now, what we are talking about and what most voice actors ask us about is the software or app. If you have a Rolodex from the 70s or 80s or 90s, that's a CRM.
I do.
Okay? When I started
a spreadsheet.
A spreadsheet, exactly. That was the very next thing I was going to say. A spreadsheet is a form of CRM.
Yep.
Yeah, I had an index card box. So in 1995, when I got my first voiceover demo, and my coach told me to cold call because that's back then, pre-social media, pre-pay to play, pre-home recording. That was pretty much the only thing you could do. I would use a CRM of index cards, and I had those little with the little tabs that would separate them into production companies, recording studios, advertising agencies, so on and so forth. That was a CRM, and then that evolved into spreadsheets. I do still use spreadsheets regularly, and I use them, but I also use an actual software app CRM.
Myself as well.
Now, neither Ann nor I are getting paid to sponsor or affiliate or promote any particular CRM. So we are going to be talking to you about this purely through what our experience has been without hawking, and then we get a little kickback, So
I'm going to tell you my first CRM. Yeah, my first CRM. Well, back when before voiceover was a Rolodex, and then ultimately it turned into a spreadsheet. So that I could keep track of my customers. And that was based off of, I started doing all my accounting online, right, through my accounting software. And so it was my customer base, right, that was thrown into a spreadsheet, and then I would track things that way. So you guys, CRMs don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be, they can be very simple. And it can be whatever you're most comfortable with. And that's what I started with. And then it ended up being my Gmail, right? My Gmail, where I would separate things into folders for different clients and then keep track of them that way. And then a couple of plugins for the Chrome browser that worked within Gmail to help me keep top of mind with them. And then Tom, I'm sure we'll get into the other ones that we use.
Yeah.
What about you? What is your started as a
my
spreadsheet,
my started as the index card box, which then turned into spreadsheets, and then 2003 I started using Act. Do you remember Act by Sage? I used that one for almost 10 years. So yeah, around 2013. And I think it either got discontinued or something weird happened with it, or I didn't like the features, or they started charging too much. I don't remember what it was. And then I did move to Gmail as well. I'd been using Gmail as an email account for a while, but then I started to use it as an actual CRM. One thing that's nice is that you can use, what is it, G-Sync or Google Sync? So I synchronize my Gmail with my Outlook folders. So I have Outlook, which is how I manage all my
Gmail
email
folders.
Right. Well, and this is the great thing about it. You have Gmail. I have Gmail folders, but they automatically sync with Outlook every time. So if you look at Gmail and you look at the Outlook folders, the folders are exactly the same. So if I move one to one thing in one, it moves it to the one thing in the other, which means if I'm at my desktop, on my laptop, on my tablet, or on my phone.
That. Outlook is amazing.
Outlook is amazing. Anything I do with Gmail or Outlook, it automatically synchronizes with all of my devices.
In my defense, I would have Outlook is my most favorite email client ever. And when I was working in the corporate world, I had an Outlook account. And when I left the corporate world to go into voiceover full time, I no longer had an Outlook server, right, to go to. And Gmail at the time wasn't syncing up with Outlook nicely, or Outlook wasn't syncing up with Gmail nicely. So I literally got used to using just Gmail. Okay. But it's funny because my husband does use Gmail with Outlook, and he just filters everything into his Outlook, because Outlook is it's wonderful visually. It's just a nice way to organize things and folders. But I've gotten so used to my Gmail in folders that I'm really used to, and filtering. I have automatic filtering and that sort of thing. But I totally love Outlook.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the bottom of my desktop, and for me it's Google Workplace Sync. So, because I have a paid Google Workspace account.
Yep.
So Google Workspace is great. It does all kinds of fun things.
I could do it now.
Yeah, and I never even thought about Gmail as a CRM that I'm using now, because I have a folder for every client in Gmail. Because every time I have any kind of correspondence with any client, once the correspondence is over, I drag that email into that client folder. Now, do I use that specifically to market out of? No, but it is a robust, legit CRM, because, like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. 2019, a potential client reached out to me and said, hey, I'm developing this app. I'm getting a grant. I've got the level 1 grant for it, so I've got enough money to pay you to do this with the app. And then once we get that done, then we're going to apply for a level 2 grant. So I did the work in 2019 and 2020. We had an email exchange in 2021, and then a few weeks ago, 3 years later, the client said, "Hey,
Yeah.
I got the level 2 grant. We're ready to keep
Yep,
going."
yep, love that.
And
Yep,
I would have, and at first I'm like, who the hell is this? Because it's been 3 years. But then I'm like, I looked at the email, and then I'm like,
but you can go back.
I went back and I looked in Gmail/Outlook, and I saw the folder with that client, and all of our correspondences dating back to 2019 were there.
I know.
This is also
wonderful.
really good.
And files, and everything.
All the attachments,
like
all the
audio
contracts,
files too. Yep.
everything. What's also good is often like I'll have a client and years will go by just like that, and it'll say, "Hey, I've got another explainer for you, same as last time," and I'll be like, "I don't remember." But my CRM does, because I look in, I see the email, and last time we charged this, and then I can make a decision. Yeah, that's good, or it's been a few years, so now I charge that, and then we have a conversation.
And because Google Gmail is such a great search engine, which again I'm an authority on that because I have 1.5 million unread email messages. And by the way, they're unread because what I do is I subscribe, just for those people that are wondering, I subscribe to every corporate list because I want to learn as much about how companies that I want to voice for market to their customers. And so I sign up for a lot of mailing lists and I just let it filter through so I can see how they market. And that's honestly how I learned marketing, Tom, really through just everybody else and looking at everybody else. So I don't have a problem with not having an empty inbox. I know some people do. But again, I have a series. I must have probably, I want to say, a good 300 folders within my Gmail.
Oh, yeah. Me too. I have hundreds.
Yeah, at least.
Looking
and I have
at
rules that filter emails coming in. Absolutely.
Looking at my inbox right now, I have 14 emails in my professional inbox, in the Tom Dheere inbox.
I have more than that.
And that's cool. Anyways, but like I said, when I'm done with the conversation, I drag it into the client's folder, and I've got this archive for what did we do, how much did we charge, like all this stuff. But I think people want to know which app software type CRMs do we recommend.
Yes.
So what do you use these days?
Okay, so in addition to, my Gmail, I use multiple because it depends on what I'm working with. So right now I have a Wix website, and I have the VO Peeps website, I have the VO Boss website, obviously I've got Anganguza. So I've got 3 main brands where I have websites, and so for each of those I have the Wix CRM. So I have people who subscribe to Anganguza, people who subscribe to VO Peeps, people that subscribe to VO Boss. Each one of them on the Wix website has its CRM utilized by Wix because people subscribe. They get placed in the CRM there, which is great because then I can send emails to those lists. I can also check and see, the nice thing is I can see if I've sent an email out to a list, I can see how many people have opened it, who've clicked on it, and who've actually purchased. And it really has a nice series of accounts for that. And also I can just work from my contact list to send emails to and categorize them as clients, categorize them as, let's say, coaching students, or however I want to do it. So Wix is my first. I have 3 really for each domain. And then I also use ActiveCampaign because I use the VO Boss Blast that I sell as well to direct market to companies. I have a list of over 90,000 creatives, companies, advertising agencies, rosters, production companies. And so that is part of that marketing package. And so I have ActiveCampaign that I use to house the contacts. Now, most software, and you'll agree, Tom, will charge based on how many contacts you have in there. Mm-hmm. So at least for ActiveCampaign, like I have like 200,000 contacts in ActiveCampaign, and so I pay a hefty price for that. And they charge per contact. But I'm doing that because I've got a list of 90,000, and I'm splitting that list up and doing marketing for other VO bosses, and so I spend a lot of money on that product. So between the 2, Wix, 3, Gmail, Wix, and ActiveCampaign, I've got 3 CRMs that I'm utilizing for different needs.
Cool. I like we've already established, I use Gmail, and I do use spreadsheets for very niche genres like political, because I like to see in one space who they are, what their contact is, when did I reach out, did they open the email, did they reply, did I get on their roster, did I book? And then that stuff eventually makes its way into my CRM. Like Ann, TomDheere.com and vostrategist.com are both Wix-based sites. So I have two separate CRMs. The Tom Dheere CRM is obviously for voiceover clients. The VoStrategist CRM is for students. And I have different tactics and strategies, and I have different sales funnels and workflows for each of those. So, and they both work great. For many years, I remembered I used to use MailChimp, and before that I used Vertical Response, and they were both great. They were both great.
Yep.
But the CRM that I was using religiously before I fully migrated to Wix was Cloze, Cloze. This is a fantastic CRM.
I know the name.
Just vision this. You wake up in the morning, you get an email in your inbox saying, hey, these are the people you haven't reached out to in 3 months. And then you can click on that name, and then it takes you to Cloze, and it'll say, oh, would you like to use one of the email templates that you created? You click on the template, and you look at based on what genre of voiceover they cast, where they are in the sales funnel, and it populates it with their name. You can obviously do a little extra personalization as you see fit. Click send. Then you'll get a notification if they open the email. You'll get a notification if they clicked on any links in the email. And it has a project manager. So if you, for example, narrate long-form e-learning or an audiobook, you can set up benchmarks for like audiobook. Read the first, record and deliver the first 15 minutes. Get approval for the first 15 minutes. Record chapter 1, record chapter 2, record chapter 20. Send them an invoice. Do corrections. Market that this book is now on sale, and so on and so forth. It's fantastic. It's only like $200 something a month. And Ann did not know this before I say it, is I just realized that you can rent my video Cloze for voice actors at vostrategist.com. Right now it's a rentable video, so you can stream it for $5. For 72 hours, you can just rent it. Because most of my videos are $20, but that's one of the videos that I'm promoting for $5. And Ann didn't even know that, and I didn't even think about that when we were like, what are we going to talk about this month? So so if you go to vostrategist.com, go to the video section, you can rent it for $5.
Now, one thing I just want to say, Tom, is like no matter what CRM you use, it does take some time to set up. I mean, there is some work involved in setting up a CRM and getting your contacts in there. I had tried Nimble for a while, but Nimble then decided to base their pricing on the size of your mailbox. And of course, with over 1 million unread emails, it was prohibitively expensive. Now, you said, Tom, for the low price of only $200 a month, which may or may not be something that people have in their budget, but I will say that that's really nice. That Cloze will say, hey, look, you haven't contacted these people in 3 months. I think that's wonderful. Right now, I have like a Boomerang app that's on my Chrome browser. And I think Gmail now, you can schedule emails. And if you need to respond, you'll notice it'll come back, say, hey, you haven't responded to this person in 5 days. So there's kind of that built into it. But just know that a CRM, no matter what you do, if you get one that's, that you're going to pay a monthly fee, I think Nimble was like $20. And then they're like, no, with your, blah, 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 it's going to cost you $100. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay $100. I've already got most of what I need anyways. You really need to just assess what your needs are. And then, figure out what works for you, because you don't have to pay anything. I don't pay anything right now. Well, I do. I should say that. I pay for Wix and I pay for ActiveCampaign. But, depending on what is comfortable for you and what will help you to stay top of mind and keep yourself top of mind. Because sometimes I'll forget, oh, gosh, I should have responded, or I should reach out to this client because gosh knows, right? You could be losing work if you forget to. I've got clients who say, yes, I'm going to buy this, or I want to come back to this. And then if you follow up, sometimes it's just that little nudge that is top of mind reminding that will get you the sale.
Yep. And one thing I will say, Cloze is about $200 something a month. But if you think about it, if you use that CRM and you book one explainer video for $300, you made your money back, and everything else after that is profit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ooh, good conversation, guys. I don't know if we'll ever get the questions stopping about the CRMs, but you know what, guys? Do what comes naturally to you, what's comfortable for you. As far as Tom and I making recommendations, I mean, we have a combination of CRMs that work for us. And we've named a few of them, but really, do your research, guys. See, and know that it will take you some work to set it up. But I think if you've got a CRM that's running, I mean, I'll tell you what, that CRM saves my butt every month, and more than that, by being able to communicate easily with people that are subscribed to me and people that I want to reach out to. So it's absolutely worthy investment for bosses. So. Thanks again, Tom, for your words of wisdom. You're amazing.
Thank you, as always, for having me.
Yeah. Bosses, big shout out to our sponsor, IPDTL. You too can connect and network like bosses, like Tom and myself, real bosses. Find out more at IPDTL.com. Guys, have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.